project. Just want to guys let you know that we are in the Corville Mountains, and I say that like I don't know where I'm at. I'm saying that because I want to be vague about where I'm at. You know what? So I'm not going to give you too many different ways that you can find your way up here because this is not my area. I'm just a guest. So uh, I appreciate every one of you guys showing up. When you do, if you're not here yet, you can watch it later, and the information will be the same. But we've had a really exciting last 48 hours out here. I'm joined by my good friend Jason B. Miller. Step over here, buddy. Take a look at this guy. I saw him in action today. I filmed him in action today collecting some hairs, which you guys are going to find fascinating. We've had a series of events out here that it's kind of hard for me to wrap my head around now because it's just coming in one wave after the other. And last night I had a visitor in my camp, kind of testing the perimeter, checking stuff out. I can't wait to get that on my editor so I can raise the volume. You guys can hear exactly what was going on there. A lot of stuff in the periphery. But the big event for today is at a last moment's notice, I changed my game cam. Now, if you guys remember, any of my YouTube, or not my YouTube friends, but my Facebook friends, remember that the night that Jason and I had a head, possibly a heat signature, that so he went off in the woods in that direction. We were trying to flush it for the view of the thermal drone. So we have that whole incident that is going to be part of what we're saying tonight. But we had a game camera in my log. You guys have seen me put these logs together. I've explained them to you and showed you in my workshop. But I had it sitting here watching this berm where the trail. We just figured if it comes in on this end, that's how it'll get caught. Well, I've got some still pictures from that night. Didn't get anything definitive. So at the last moment last night, when I was left here alone, I changed it to a different location, and that is up on the side of that berm, filming to the side. I figured whatever came over that berm, it will just catch a side view of it. So all of this is going to be based on moving the camera to that location in the spur of the moment, just as a whim. And so I've got a nice live video this morning of me walking over there, talking about the camera, and I'm like, holy crap, the camera was on its side. The camera in here was laying out somewhere else, and the log was laying on its side, not even close to how I left it sitting there. So you could understand my excitement at the time. But what I didn't know at the time is, and Jason found this, I left it alone. I just left. I knew when Jason got here today that I would film him over examining this thing, and it's a good thing that I did. I could have just collected it all up, had it sitting over here, re-put the camera in, and that's the way my thinking is. I very not analytical and didn't even think to look at stuff, but I said, you know what? There could be something there. I'm gonna let Jason take a look at this, and so he showed up. I mean, you wanna take him through what you found?
So Randy's got this piece of wood here cut out for his camera to fit in. I don't know how well y'all can see this, but there's a few cracks that run up on each side right through here. So what I assume is that possibly what we saw on the thermal, peeking its head up in the same general area, picked this up to investigate it, take a peek, maybe even grabbed the camera and removed it. Now, my first thought is, if they touched it in any way, shape, fashion, or form, go over the game camera first, which I did with a green, red, and blue different colored lights. Nothing on that. As I started to examine a little bit closer, in this little crevice right here were three hairs, not moss from the trees, but three separate hairs. I was able to take two out, put them in sterile containers, and got them on ice immediately. The good thing about having something like this is if you're grabbing it, reaching at it, sloughing it off, possibly their forearm hair, we don't know where it comes from, but it's definitely three hairs, two.
And what Jason did after that, now Jason meticulously scoured this whole thing using the lights, his equipment all sterilized, and he explained all that. I'm going to put that in the video where it's all explained. You're going to watch the process where he finds the hairs and extricates them from these cracks, puts them in their vials. But the interesting thing is, so of course we're going to be talking about this for the whole rest of the day. We're over there, we're just talking about how great this was. This was fantastic. I finally get the pictures from this camera downloaded, and we've got something. It's not easy to see because it's right in front of the camera, but it's something blotting out the whole scene, and you can see hair on both sides in a downward motion. So something is right in front of the camera, and you can see hair on the sides of it, sloping downward, as you would expect something with the cascading hair going down. So we have that on camera, and because of that, Jason goes back over there at another time. Because of the way this was laying on the ground and the camera was out of it, it looks like they could have only come in one way, which was above it, on that slope above it. So Jason goes back over there and for a long time starts to examine those trees that it would have to brush against to get down where this was found. And he does find another hair.
This is just an example. So where we believe one was peeking up over 2 nights ago, I meticulously went over each branch. So if it had popped up, looked around and popped back down, some of its hair might have got sloughed off by some of the pine needles. Well, sure enough, one more hair. Meticulously removed, put in a sterile container, and it's on ice also.
So there you have it, folks. Just one instance of a happenstance luck of spur of the moment changing the cameras to a different location, and we're going to make some adjustments tonight, given that that we've had some, obviously an approach twice, 2 different nights in at this end of on this east end of camp. So I'm going to use 2 different log cameras set up in a different formation, and we'll see if that turns out to be fruitful or not. I sure hope it is, but you know, none of us are ever really that lucky with game cameras. I believe that this is what I'd call hitting the jackpot, even though it's hard to see. You can barely see the hair, but it's all white. And I do believe at some point, this is the best you can get, unless of course we make adjustments. And if our adjustments are correct and we get a third approach from this end of camp, maybe we'll get something better. I hope so. But I also have a plan on how I'm going to deal with another camp visitor with a light system. I'll explain that later, only if it's successful. Well, even if it's not successful, I'll explain to you what I'm going to try to do. But yeah, I think you guys will like it. Man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy with everything that has turned out so far. Jason and I went back in there today after looking at the video of him that first night going back there. We were looking with the thermal video, trying to find hot spots in the foliage. We may have found one where he had something thrown at him. You can see there's just a little bit of a heat variation in that cluster of tree foliage. So we went back there in the daytime and looked for that spot, found some perfect hiding spots that may have been where something threw something at him. And now on the thermal drone, we may see where that spot was. There was something warm there. Dude, that is, how can you beat this? We're talking layers of evidence all within the same.
It's slowly stacking up, slowly, piece by piece. I do want to correct you on one thing. The hairs that were collected out of here, Randy mentioned, were white. No, not from this, and not from his chin. They were too long, and I wasn't here, and they were stuck down in that crevice. So
yeah, and he showed that to our eyesight they appeared gray or white possibly, but when he put them in the sunlight or a certain light, you could see that they were light brown.
Correct.
So that's great too. So yeah, how exciting is this? He's going to send them off to actually be analyzed by an expert. He knows his people. I don't know those people. I mean, who's my people? I don't have any people. So this is all great.
The first thing I'm going to do when I get home, though, is I'm going to put them underneath a microscope to verify that they are not from any other type of wildlife that I have an idea what it could be. If I can rule out all possibilities, they go off to a lab in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Yeah. So apparently I'm going to stay here for a while longer now. I went ahead and canceled my trip further out west. The time is just not going to work for me. I don't have enough time to drive another 8 hours. You know, it's too long. It's too much effort. I bit off more than I could chew. But did I really? Because here I am, and now I get to stay here longer. So it's going to work out for the best.
Every day,
Uh,
a little bit more.
Look
A
at this
little bit
guy.
more.
You're going to know who this guy is. You're going to know who this guy is because everything that's happening here it wouldn't have happened without him. And especially watching him in action, the way he's collecting these things, it's really fantastic. I've learned a lot. I don't know if I want to work that hard. It's a lot of work to do it the way he does it. But you know what? Two peas in a pod. He does it. He does what he does, and I bring in my equipment, do what I do. And if they can gel and come together, and then we get this awesome evidence, my God, you couldn't really ask for more. And you guys, thank you so much. You guys, do I really have to say how much I love you guys? You guys are the greatest, and I've not felt so supported of people in this arena until I started doing my own YouTube, and you guys really make me feel great. Thank you so much.
Badass.